1 in 4 adults in the United States have some form of cardiovascular disease. Cardiovascular disease is the class of diseases that involve the heart or blood vessels. This list includes heart attack, stroke, coronary artery disease, congestive heart failure, to name a few. 1 in 3 deaths in the United States is due to heart disease. Every 34 seconds, someone in the United States has a heart attack. On average, every 4 minutes, someone dies of a stroke. Stroke is the 4th leading cause of death in the United States for both men and women. Over 130,000 people in the United States die of stroke. 1 in 5 Americans have a mental illness. Adults with severe and persistent mental illness are dying, on average, 25 years earlier than the general public.
I'm a person with a bipolar disorder. I am not a statistic.
We know that based on research that persons that have severe and persistent mental illness, they are at a higher risk of having cardiovascular disease.
And in fact, they have about a 40 to 50% higher risk of actually dying from cardiovascular disease. And that's related to issues like smoking, metabolic syndrome and diabetes, lack of exercise, poor nutrition, stress, all of those kinds of things that are not heart healthy.
The same reasons that people in the general population who aren't mental health consumers have elevated risks of cardiovascular disease. It's just that there are higher rates of those risk factors.
Most risk factors for heart disease and stroke, specifically high blood pressure, high cholesterol, smoking, and obesity, are preventable and controllable. Controlling these risk factors could reduce the risk of heart attack or stroke by more than 80%.
One of the areas is to integrate the head with the body, which means when you go to your primary care doctor, that the primary care doctor will be able to ask you, how are you doing? Do you have problems sleeping? Are you anxious about something? So that you're really bringing in the mental health component of that person.
We did separate the mind and body, and I think the intentions were good. We wanted to focus on the symptoms of mental illness, but if you only focus on the symptoms of mental illness and addiction, you miss a lot that would motivate a person to take ownership and self-manage a healthier life.
The Four Corners program and the Cobb County Community Services Board have really been leaders in this area. They've been out ahead of the curve, not only within Georgia, but at a national level in terms of thinking about how to make wellness and health a part of recovery and mental health.
About 80 to 90% of people with schizophrenia, living with schizophrenia, smoke, as opposed to 20% of people in the general population. For people living with bipolar illness, it's about 60 to 70% smoke. People who are living with severe and persistent mental illness smoke about 45% of the cigarettes smoked in this country, and they're about 5 to 6% of the population.
I rarely buy packs anymore, but I have some now, but at the end of this month, I'm going to invest in me an electronic cigarette. That way I don't have to smoke the real cigarettes, because sometimes it's more of a mental thing, like, you're constantly used to having the cigarette between your hands, and you need just having that motion, that feeling. But I figure, to cut it all out, I can just invest in an electronic cigarette, and instead of nicotine smoke, it can be water vapor.
Don't smoke. Don't be in a place where you can inhale secondhand smoking that often, because all of this contributes to your heart health.
Reducing smoking, either by helping people to quit or just harm reduction, reducing the amount that people who smoke is critical.
Hello, my name is Eric Gervin, and I'm with Functional Performance Fitness here at the Circle, where we're actually, my job here is to perform physical assessments for all the clients that's coming in that's actually trying to better themselves, make changes in their lives. Phase one of what we've already started here, we have all the clients using the treadmills, elliptical machines, and also the recumbent bikes. One of the questions that I'm always asked is, for some of the clients, even though we have this facility set up for them now, what are some things that they can actually take home with them? Some of the things that we do suggest to them is very simple things like the resistance tube, which are very lightweight. There are literally hundreds of exercises that they can actually do with it. From bicep curls to chest presses and even squats. Other exercises that they can do at home just by utilizing household items such as a regular dining room chair, practicing sitting down in the chair properly, standing up out of the chairs properly, and even also using the chairs to hold on to them for balance.
Well, the walking trail is like good exercise for us consumers, and it also helps us, live a good, healthy life.
Nate wants to tell you all about the garden picking he did today.
This is our fresh vegetables that we pick from our garden. I want to say, it's very healthy for us to eat, because that's what we need to do, is eat live food instead of dead food. And this is live food here, fresh from the garden.
2/59.
152/59, I'd say that was a good one.
It's a very good one. That's a very normal, healthy blood pressure.
I keep that blood pressure good by eating good live food as much as I can and staying on my medications like I should.
I've been diagnosed with bipolar for some time now, and I've dropped medicine several times because of the weight gain and relapse and had to be hospitalized.
I think that when people first start getting on medication, they're still, they're not necessarily stable, and sometimes they're depressed. So they take a medication that may, promote a false sense of hunger, and they're not doing well, so they sit at home and they eat not properly. And eat negative, processed foods and a lot of sweets and sugars. When people are depressed, they very often kind of want to have sugar because it gives them I feel good for a minute. And what happens is that ends up promoting more bad eating.
I started on Seroquel, and Seroquel had it where I was eating constantly all the time. So I went from weighing at one point 180 pounds to my max weight was at 267.
I can't tell you how many times I've heard people sort of say, well, I went on, my atypical antipsychotic medication, I gained 40, 50 pounds. Nobody ever said anything about it.
With negative effects of medication, they don't want to stay on the medication. It's because it's like, oh, that medication is going to put 25 pounds on. I don't want that. Well, we teach them how to be able to counter that, how to take the proper medicine that you need to make your mental health go well as to complement yourself with the proper food and exercise, so that you don't get to a point where we're using weight as an excuse not to take medication that is necessary for proper recovery.
Now that I'm on a consistent track, I want to be healthy and to stay healthy. I just decided to eat healthy versus dropping my medication.
Ladies and gentlemen, today we are making 7-layer taco dip.
The ingredients you'll need are lettuce, beans, yogurt, rotel, avocado, tomatoes, and cheese.
We start off with lettuce.
Add drain, wash beans.
Next, you'll mix yogurt with taco seasoning mix. Then spread.
Then add rotel.
And then add avocado.
Add tomatoes.
And finally, you top with a lot of cheese. And finally, you take a tortilla, and voila.
If you study stress, you're going to come across a thing called the stress-induced fight or flight response. You know, it's highly documented that to survive, our body does some amazing things. And early on, it helped us survive predators. So if there was a saber-toothed tiger after me, and I could either fight or flee successfully, then I didn't become saber-toothed tiger much. Stress was physical danger. Well, over time, things have changed. There's no more saber-toothed tigers. And so now, our stressors are our work, traffic, relationships, financial. And the point is, your body doesn't know the difference. All it knows is that we're going to help you survive.
When I have stress, I listen to CDs. I go walking. I do coping skills, which is breathing techniques. And watch my DVDs.
For me personally, I exercise, do meditation, whether it's reading the Bible or just going to a quiet spot, you know, like in the park or next to a lake. Listening to music is good.
If you're under unremitting stress and you cannot get out from under it, then it will attack that vulnerable area.
So take time for yourself to get into relaxation. The relaxation could be just a form of meditation. It could be prayer. For some people, just praying relaxes them and centers their mind and calm their blood and bring down their blood pressure to a normal range.
There are some things that we really need to educate them about. We need to, first of all, make them aware that these are important issues. Then we need to help them understand what they can do about it. And then I think we need to provide them access to services and facilities where they can be comfortable dealing with them. And then we need to just stay involved. The same way we stay involved, hopefully, in positive ways in all aspects of their lives. Not to be overly intrusive, but to help them understand the role of medication, to help them understand the role of social networks, etc. I think it's exercise, diet, smoking cessation are all part of a recovery lifestyle.
Life is for the living. The fact that you are watching this video means that you have been given the gift of life. I encourage you to live that life to the fullest for the best you.
You have seen many different ways to reduce your risk of cardiovascular disease. Now it's time for you to take that pledge. Log in to millionhearts.hhs.gov and learn how you can live a longer and heart-healthy life.
I took the pledge. I took the pledge.
I took the pledge. I took the pledge. I took the pledge.
I took the pledge. Now it's your turn.